Money, 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 money.
No.
Money. Welcome to Man vs. Mind. It's part 3 of our money mini-series.
You just sat there going, I don't know how I'm going to start this. And I could have had a million guesses and I would not have come up with that intro.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
My name's Tim and you've heard the voice of...
Jay.
Let's go. Part 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a good journey so far, I like to think. If you haven't heard parts 1 and 2 of our money series, then go back and listen now. Yeah, and then come back to this one, part 3.
You'll be up to date.
Yeah, and we'll be right here. Just waiting for you. Today, we are going into kind of how to alleviate the anxiety around money. And I'll reveal kind of how I got my shit together, really, because my hand was forced. So we'll go into today how I basically completely tore down my finances from top to bottom.
Tore down? That doesn't sound good.
Broke
down?
Yeah. Well, I kind of tore it all down.
Okay.
How we spend money and how we view money and everything. I just broke it all down from top to bottom and just basically built in a whole new strategy.
Yeah, very cool.
So we're going to go through that today. Before we get going, as always, give us a review.
Yes, please.
It's really, genuinely, really, really important for us. It really, really helps people find the show, the discoverability of the show. I'd love it if you can leave a few words. We've got some really cool, exciting stuff coming up, hopefully, as we get closer to Mental Health Month and World Mental Health Day in October. So give us a review now and it will help people find us then.
Yeah, when people will need it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Jay, how you been?
Good. I'm glad that we're back in our sanctuary.
Are. Yeah, because you were away for a little while.
I was, coming on 3 weeks I was away.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
And we had to do an episode remote.
Which was typically, as soon as we started, someone started doing building work in the apartment below us and just hammering the whole time.
Yeah, classic, isn't it? And we had a bit of a BBC moment where somebody just walked into your room and started doing some chores.
I was like, I'm on a call. Like, oh, sorry. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah. But you're back safe and sound.
Back safe and sound, just about.
Yeah. But it has been a bit of a full-on kind of few weeks.
For me, yeah, for sure. So we had a lot going on. So we had a christening, we had a wedding, both of them, my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law's christening, then my brother-in-law's wedding. And there was many family members coming over as well, staying with us. So it was an intense, very enjoyable but intense 3 weeks. Yes. We didn't come back feeling relaxed.
Those trips just don't leave you feeling relaxed, do they? They leave you feeling wiped.
Yeah.
And kind of just as a little bit of a trail for what's coming up. I hope you don't mind me kind of divulging this.
No, you go for it.
You told me that you had a significant panic attack when you were away. I
did, yeah.
We won't go into that today, but as a heads up, we are going to be doing kind of a special deep dive, putting Jay under the microscope a little bit. But the purpose of it is kind of going to break down a panic attack.
Yeah.
Because everyone has them and everyone can have them. So we're going to talk about what can bring a panic attack on, what it feels like, what you go through, and crucially, ways of getting through it.
Yeah.
Because you had no spoilers today, but you had a really, really, really cool kind of companion for this. If
you were to have one, you would want this person next to you.
Yes.
So purely by chance. But we'll go into it in great detail.
Hey, man, chance is a fine thing.
Yeah, it helped.
As the saying goes.
Yeah, it helped.
Yeah, for sure. So that will be dropping onto your feeds pretty soon. We're going to record it in the next few days.
I think so, yeah.
So look out for that one. Right, money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had an ordeal.
Okay.
Shortly after we recorded the last episode, Money Part 2.
Money Part 2.
I realised that there was a constant drain on my finances. We had some unexpected expenditure come up. And I kind of realised that just because it's unexpected doesn't mean that you can't plan for it.
No.
And I was really spiraling about it. And I was verging on kind of freaking out, just freaking out. And then I realised that so much of my worry about money and my anxiety around money comes from a lack of planning.
So a lack of planning, so knowing where your money's going when it comes in, or planning for having savings in the account, that kind of thing, or both.
Both, I think. Yeah. I know when I get paid.
Yeah.
And I know when my wife gets paid, and we pool our resources.
Yeah.
Right, in our relationship, we just shove both of our paychecks. They end up going into the same account.
Yeah.
And then we just figure out everything from there. And I just realised we hadn't really properly budgeted and planned and understood how much of our monthly salary goes towards essential, non-negotiable things, mortgage, bills, education, childcare, stuff like that. How much of it goes on to kind of non-essential but regular costs.
Okay.
Subscriptions.
Yeah.
And that's a big one.
But yeah, for sure.
Like, that's a silent drain on your resources.
I did my subscriptions a while back. And there was a lot that I'd forgotten about, and it was just
so you had like a declutter.
I had a declutter, yeah. I went through, and probably about 15-20 pounds a month I saved myself, so 100 dirhams.
Yeah, good
just
effort.
for going through.
Yeah.
But stuff that I didn't even know was still going.
Like?
The Apple iCloud thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a stupidly high thing for this.
Yeah.
That's why I don't need that much. And it gives you like a little barometer of how much you actually use of it. And I was like millimeters into the 2-inch kind of bar of storage. I was like, okay, I can take this down a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was I'm trying to think what it was. It will come back to me, but it was like some sports subscription that kept going, like a news thing.
Right.
That I don't use anymore.
Nah.
So that went. There was a couple of things, but they added up to around about 20 quid.
Yeah. And things like that, they are silent little drains on it, because it's kind of it's the accumulation effect.
Yeah.
Where you go, oh, I can sign up to that because it's only like £5 a month or something, and I won't really miss a fiver.
Yeah.
But when you're signed up to like 20 of them,
it adds up.
It adds up. It really adds up. And just kept categorizing more and more and more. But to do this, I went through my month's bank statement line by line.
Forensically.
Yeah. And I started off asking AI to help me, and it was fucking stupid. And it kept missing really obvious stuff.
And making sure that you get your chat GPT. GBT or GPT? GPT subscription there. Yeah. This is a non-negotiable.
Do you know what? I actually called it out on it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I used 2 AI models to try and help me, like, just in case, right? Just in case there's anything that I was missing. So I used Claude and I used ChatGPT. GBT?
It's P, but I always call it B.
And I then sent my bank statement into both of them, which might have been a little bit... I don't know, lacking in data privacy.
Just got your social numbers,
but
IBANs.
I just thought, you know what, you only live once.
Yeah, it's got all your information anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so and it categorized loads of stuff, and it was like, you can start by getting rid of this and this and this and this and this. And I said, I noticed that you didn't tell me to get rid of my premium chat. I can't say it now. My premium ChatGPT subscription, and it basically just did that kind of very pandering kind of response that ChatGPT.
Well, if you got rid of me, how could I help you?
No, but it kind of like overly very sycophantically. It was like, oh, nothing gets by you, does it, Tim? And I was like, oh, give it a rest, mate. And so then everything else I just categorized more and more and more, because I realized that the AI models I was using was just missing obvious stuff. Went in, fine-tooth comb, did it all myself, and realised really quickly that we were just losing money in so many places, in so many places. And I said to myself, this can't go on. Honestly, I spent hours upon hours doing this over the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
To the point where I now feel comfortable with where we're going to be looking over the next month. I kind of used all of this information that I'd that I'd gleaned from doing it to develop like a strategy and a budget for everything.
So are you going to keep this going? Are you going to do it again this month and to compare for like the next 6 months to go, okay, well, maybe I've been a little bit overzealous here and I could probably bring this up a little bit. Maybe we can spend,
Yeah. So the way I started with it was to do it based on August.
Yeah.
August's month, start to finish. Now, it's a little bit complicated by the fact that my payday is in the middle of the month, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But, so I'm now doing it from the middle of the month to the middle of the next month. But it doesn't really matter. And what I've done is already from the moment I get paid, I know that all of my non-negotiable commitments are ring-fenced.
Yeah. So again, schooling, housing, daycare, all that kind of stuff.
The most incredibly important obligations that I have to fulfill every month. That's ring-fenced. And then something that I was really bad at doing was planning for costs that I know come up every few months, but I wouldn't put money aside for it every month.
So like insurances
in my particular building, I have to pay for an additional parking space.
Okay.
So every few months I've got to fork out a disproportionate amount of money. And every single time it happened, I was always like, oh, fuck, I forgot. I've got to put down a disproportionate amount of money on my parking space. And so now I'm taking that cost, dividing it by the time period and putting that money in every month. Yeah. And I'm basically putting that as well as some saving money, rainy day money. As soon as I get paid, that's going to go straight into a separate account.
Yeah, good.
So I'm gonna ring fence that as well. And then from the list of subscriptions, the money that we are going to need for food and living and just existing, I've basically said to my missus, I was like, we need to get this number down, the amount that we're spending, because so here's an example. Our single biggest non-essential cost was food delivery.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily mean like Deliveroo.
No, but the fees that come with the delivery, or
yes,
yeah,
but not just on a kind of takeaway basis.
No,
I mean more the kind of what are they called?
Like
in
last minute groceries. It's kind of
in this country, it's called InstaShop.
Yeah.
They exist in different markets,
Sure.
like I don't know, let's just call it like Go Fetch or Cart Dash or something like that. Guys that take shopping from the shops to your door, right? In like half an hour.
My wife's really bad for this.
We both are.
Yeah.
We're both terrible for it because oh God, honestly, I had this out with my therapist yesterday where I was like, we live in an age of instant gratification and therefore like life is going so fast because we get everything we want all the time. And so our foremost thought is immediately acted upon. And that for me is like speeding up time because I don't have any time for like introspection because I'm constantly entertaining my every whim, right? Deep.
But do you remember like when you used to order something online back in the day, t-shirt, whatever it would have been, when online shopping first came around?
Yeah.
Minimum 2 weeks to like maybe a week delivered. You'd order it, you get excited for 20 minutes. Cool, I'm going to go on with my day.
And then you kind of forget about it.
You forget about it and it's a nice surprise when it turns up.
Yeah.
Because you weren't getting notifications. You may get the one that said it's been shipped, here's your tracking number, but it never worked. And now you order something and you're literally looking at your watch going, it's probably going to be here in 20 minutes. 30 minutes. Oh, no, hang on. They said 30 minutes or less and now we're at 45. Do I call up and complain? Because I really need that now. And I think some of these apps have like you get a money back if it's less than.
Yeah, I know. And slight tangent here. The more I thought about that, the more I was kind of spiraling about just the state of society and capitalism, and all of this came. All of this sort of instant gratification, the need for everything right now, all of it right now, came because one guy 17 years ago released this phone that could start doing shit.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. And then that spawned off all these little fucking micro industries that are designed to take more of your money without you realizing. And I'm doing it again. I'm spiraling about it. So our single biggest expense was coming from getting these shops to your door services, right? And I said to my wife, we have to stop this. We absolutely have to stop it. So then I put a plan in place. I was like, okay, so instead of going to the expensive supermarket and the shameful thing about this, the most fucking shameful bit about it is that more often than not, we'd order from the shop that's in my building.
So it's downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to high heaven about that because I'm like, I could just go downstairs.
It's a 2-minute walk.
Yeah. Anyway, so I then started going, right, how are we going to get that number down while still getting all the stuff that we need? And then I started saying, right, okay, so at the start of the month, I've got an Amazon cart, which is from a supermarket affiliated with Amazon.
Okay, so groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For groceries, with everything that we're going to need for the month, barring like bananas and
Stuff that's
milk.
going to spoil.
Yeah, because obviously that's not going to last a month. And so all of the stuff that we're going to need, like my son is like well into pasta at the moment. So he likes the different types of pasta. And so I've ordered like 4 different types of pasta, but multiple packets of it.
Yeah.
So that it's there and ready for the month. And so on and so forth with every like tinned thing or thing that goes in the fridge or thing that's going to go into the cupboard. And I said, instead of getting then Deliveroo because we can't be asked, let's make ourselves use the stuff that we buy at the start of the month. And because it comes from like what is basically a budget supermarket, all of that stuff's going to cost us like a fraction of the cost of all of that other stuff, plus the delivery fees and everything else. So that's kind of like alleviated my anxiety around it. But then by doing that and budgeting for this stuff from the start of the month, I know how much money, almost to the pound, the dirham, the dollar, which
that you've got to play with until the end of the month.
So I know that we've already got our essential bills sorted. We've got a money pot of for saving. We've got our subscription fees sorted and ready to go. And I went through every single line of that as well, which was just ridiculous. It was like Apple iCloud storage.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same as yours. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. I was like, I should really do something about all of these TV subscriptions.
For the longest time, our household had 2 Netflixes.
Oh, it's so easily done.
Because I had one that was attached to the TV we have in the bedroom, and then my wife had one that was attached to the one in the kitchen in the living room.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what are we doing?
Which one am I paying for?
Yeah.
She's like, both. I'm like,
why?
But that doesn't make sense because that's all in your name. And this is when we cancelled one of those, that was another one we cancelled.
Yeah, we did the same. I think we had the same for Disney.
Yeah,
and all this stuff. And so I went through like all of these subscriptions, and I honestly, I properly fucking went on a mission with this.
Yeah,
not just kind of TV stuff, but just hosting for the podcast. The software we use for it, loads of stuff. And I realised there's so much that I didn't need. So much of it I didn't need. And so I just went, okay, right, I'm going to minimise this tier of package that I've got here. So I'm going to take that down by, it was like 75% cheaper to go like a tier down, get rid of this, get rid of that. I'm not going to need this for the foreseeable, get rid of it. Loads of stuff just got rid of. And then I called up the company that does the internet for my building and just went, no, I've been a customer since I moved to Dubai. I might have changed my package a few years ago. Can I downgrade my package? And they went, well, actually, you only changed your package last year. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. And they went, so if you downgrade, you have to pay off the rest of your contract now and then take out your new one. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. And so I was like, okay, well, can't blame a guy for trying. Mm-hmm. And then she went, oh, but we can just give you a 20% discount for the next year.
Well,
yeah, all right then.
Well, I have a very conflicting thing because you told me this last week, call up your provider and just ask for a discount or say you're going to leave, you'll get one. And they called me up today.
Did they call your bluff?
Today, in fact.
Have you been cut off?
So what happened was they called me up and they're like, hey, we got a discount for you. It's 30% cheaper. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, amazing. So how much am I paying now? I think I paid like $410 or something like this. And they're like, okay, so it's going to be $480. I said, well, that's not 30% cheaper. That's actually substantially more money. Like, what's that about? She goes, oh, no, the package we're offering you has a 30% discount on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm going to change provider. And she went, oh, okay. Nice speaking to you. And then hung up the phone.
And that was it?
That was it. So she really called my bluff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I did have it where I closed a bank account. I closed a credit card with an old bank I had, and they were speaking to me like some jilted bride, like left at the altar. And honestly, they were furious at me, and it was like they were scorned. So they called me, and they were basically like seeing if they could increase my credit limit or something like that. And I was like, well, actually, I've paid off the card.
Yeah,
and I now don't want the card anymore, and I've moved my salary to a different bank. So instead of you upselling me, I'm actually going to cancel my credit card. And then it was basically, I could hear the pout on the other end of the line. It was basically like, oh,
well,
fine. You can't have a credit card if you've moved your salary to a different bank. I was like, well, you're not really getting the memo. Like, I've already told you I don't want a credit card, and I've moved my salary to another bank. And they were like, oh, fine.
Oh, you don't want our 6%? Then fine, go.
I was like, yeah, all right. I'm glad we're on the same page here, mate. So that is how I've basically cut so many of the expenses down, and kind of just got some clarity over it, and now I'm getting like longer term savings goals.
Yeah,
and because we were just fucking hemorrhaging cash.
It goes
on so much unnecessary stuff, and we didn't have a rainy day fund.
The thing about this, there's going to be half of our listeners will go, how are you just understanding this?
I'm 37.
Yeah.
And I've only just got to this stage.
Doing this week in, week out, you should know exactly what you're spending, this, that, the other. And then maybe not even half, maybe less than half. And then the majority, I would say, would be going, oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I should look into that. Because there is no financial education, really, unless it's yourself doing it.
Exactly. And it was born out of fear.
Yeah.
Pure, just adrenalized fear. And that's what we're going to come on to in the second half, not adrenalized fear, is education around that money, and a bit about how this has actually affected my mental health over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, back after this.
Welcome back to Man vs. Mind. So we kind of discussed how you're dealing with the finances, how you're breaking them down, how you're kind of getting your head around it a little bit more, which is fantastic.
I mean, I really, really monologued in that bit. Sorry to the listeners. And if you're still with us, kudos. If you're still with us, then clearly you need to do it as well.
Yeah, very much. And that's why I didn't speak so much, because I was just intently listening, going, taking notes. We should do that. No, it makes a lot of sense. Have you... Because obviously finances, they're a massive drain on anyone's psyche. They kind of really get you down. And as we said before, if you don't have that, fair play to you. That must be amazing not to have that kind of concern about money. Whether it is you don't care about money or you have so much that it's just not an issue. Mm-hmm. But have you found kind of lighter shoulders, like the weight's been lifted a little bit now?
Big time.
Knowing exactly where everything is and where everything's going, and you're not just wasting frivolously throwing away stuff on orders and whatever it may be.
Yeah, big time. So a lot of it is because I had to get on top of it.
Yeah.
It was the only way that I would have been able to have any form of peace for the last 2 weeks. Right. I found a sense of ease knowing that once we get to the next payday, that the strategy then kicks in.
Yeah.
Right. And I then know exactly how the month is going to play out. And so I won't be left with any nasty surprises. We're still going to continue having this broke mindset. And I feel calm about it. I feel at ease.
Yeah.
And, I know that this isn't going to be applicable for everyone. I know that In fact, I think it is. It just depends on the scale of it. Once I've accounted for all of the things that we have to spend in the month, and having 2 kids, that's gone up orders of magnitude recently. I was then able to determine how much can I feasibly, sensibly expect to save in that month as well. And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm not going to wait as I did before and as I have done all the way through my life up until now, reactively at the end of the month going, oh, well, I've got this much left at the end of the month, so I might try and save this, or I might put this here. No, at the start of the month, I'm going to say X amount is going straight into savings.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that there. That is now my disaster fund, and my goal with that is to build up several months of essential bills being covered in savings for a rainy day, just to have it there. If the worst happens, if either of us lose our job or whatever, we know that we've got the bills paid for, the house paid for, the kids taken care of, etc., etc. That has given me another sense of ease as well, because I've also now got a time frame on how long it's going to take me to hit my goal. So having that that strategy and that plan has massively alleviated it, because that's a huge thing about anxiety is control.
Yeah.
And it's not in an obsessive control way. It's actually not having control, feeling like you don't have control. Yeah, being out of control is a massive, massive contributor to anxiety. And disordered anxiety is having a thinking process that's out of control. But then you're also thinking about things that are beyond your control. Yeah. There was the analogy I brought up. I can't remember which episode it was now. It was back in the back channels of our library,
which you should go back and listen to.
Absolutely, you should. It's great content. Yeah. It's just great content. The analogy of the wall.
The wall, yeah.
The wall. And
the kind of 20, 40... The percentage of what you can control and what you can't.
And your influence and where you need to direct your energies. And it's like, here are things that are out of your control and out of your influence and out of your concern. That's like the vast majority of everything on the wall. And then as you whittle it down into this tiny little corner of this wall, this kind of sort of 1% of the wall.
The one brick.
Is, you get to, and again with the kind of Pink Floyd metaphors, you get to what you can control and what is your concern and what is your influence, and that's where you need to exist. And so that's how I'm now starting to feel, is that I've now exerted control and influence over this thing that has caused me infinite stress over the years, for years and years and years. So yeah, I do feel
better,
way better.
Yeah,
even I still don't have any money.
No,
but I'm kind of peaceful with it.
But yeah, okay, it doesn't make you a millionaire by doing this, but it certainly allows you to know, well, I'm going to be fine until the next paycheck comes in, because everything is in line. We know where everything's going. And I get that. And I used to say to my business partner all the time when we started, I would just love to get to the end of the month and not have to worry about payday.
Yeah.
And just have that, oh, we've been paid today. Not a week before going, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's got to be coming.
Gee, I hope I get paid early this month.
Yeah, it's got to be coming. But yeah, the saving things I think is good. There's like a rule of thumb, isn't there? Like 20% of whatever if possible, 20% is what you should put into savings. And
God, that is wildly optimistic.
Oh, it's this day and age. I mean, maybe back in the day it was, but now not a chance. I mean, you're lucky if you can get 5-10% there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, big time.
And keep it.
Well, I mean, it touches on what we're sort of fringing on in the first part, which is that education. And as you said, there'll be people in our audience listening to this going like, "You idiots! How have you not done this before?" Yeah. And there'll be presumably, a larger percentage of people who are going, "I really should do something about this and take control of my money and take control of my finances, because that will in turn reduce the stress around it."
Yeah.
But it's the education and the lack of knowledge. You don't know what you don't know. So where does this originate from? Why do we not grow up being given the resources we need to manage our finances when we become functional human beings?
Yeah.
And that's a massive question.
I think it's something that should certainly be spoken about and taught at school. If you take the UK, for example, if you start your own business, understanding tax, understanding VAT, understanding where your money's going to go and maybe why it's going there and whatever it may be. But it's not like when the company started, none of us had a clue. We're not accountants. None of us are particularly... we've never done it before, that's for sure. And then we had to work out, okay, we've got this money coming in, that's got to go out, but then we've got to pay VAT on it and all this kind of stuff. There is no education on it apart from life education. And unfortunately, with life education, the only way you'd learn is when you get kicked in the ass so fucking hard that you never make that mistake again.
Yeah, and that is it. It's kind of school of hard knocks.
Yeah.
Rather than preparing people for it, you're reactively learning.
Yeah.
And the cynical side of me goes, maybe the system wants you to be like that.
It benefits them.
Exactly. I would not be able to tell you how much money banks have made off of me being indebted to them.
Oh, yeah.
Since I turned 21.
Yeah, for sure. 5% here, 6% there, 3% here.
It's staggering.
Yeah.
The amount of interest I've paid over the last 16, 17 years or whatever is crazy. And actually, that wouldn't have been the case if I'd known how to fucking manage my money when I was young. Because I was aspiring in a very materialistic sense to have loads of cool stuff and do loads of cool things.
I want to go out and, you know what, payday's 10 days away. I've only got this amount, rather than going, you know what, I'm going to stay in, cook some pasta. Yeah. No, all the boys are going out. Yeah. So I got the card. I got the card for this exact reason.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of for using a credit card for emergencies, I used it as a supplementary income. Yeah, which is just dreadful. It's not the way to use it or to manage your money. And then the knock-on effect is that you're then paying more of your available cash to pay off that supplementary quote-unquote income. Yeah,
and it's a vicious circle because you end up spending it again at the end of the month because you're now down to nothing because you've had to pay off all This is what got me with the when I wasn't working. I didn't have a huge amount credit cards. I never did. But I could never pay off the interest, and the interest kept going, and it kept going. And it got to a point that I wasn't paying off any of the
actual sort of usage debt.
What they called it, not predominant. There's an actual word from it. Primary. Like loan, whatever it is, primary balance. It was purely interest each month, and it was never making a dent. So next month was exactly the same.
And there are loans and services that you can buy. I remember it from when we're in the UK, which are just interest only payments, and it's like you're only paying off the interest every month. So what's the fucking point? It's still sitting there against your name.
There was a lot of kids. I remember when I was at college. Some of them were a bit older, and they were getting these, but like payday loans, these kind of things, and they'll just get like 500 quid, 200 quid, whatever it was. But like, you haven't got a job. How are you going to pay that back? Yeah. Oh, no, that's all right. Don't worry. I get 3 months, and then it's...
Well, presumably in order to pay off a payday loan, you have to have a payday.
I don't think they cared back then.
Nah.
I really don't. I think they're just preying on kids to go out. There's so many people got in so much trouble with those things.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, the system is knackered in that sense. I watched The Big Short the other day.
I love that movie.
And it's the same premise, is that they're basically just dishing out mortgages to anyone.
Yeah.
And then the system collapses eventually. And so I just thought, obviously, if I were to take my tinfoil hat off, like, okay, I assume the whole system isn't designed just to bait in as many suckers as possible and destroy them, but it also probably is. Yeah.
And that's sad.
It's sad. And this is also kind of what led to my kind of conversation with my therapist yesterday, where I was banging on about capitalism and how it's all just designed to destroy everyone for everyone else's, this small elite minority's gain. But it kind of is. It really kind of is. And so, people, not just kids, people need to like learn and be educated on how to manage this stuff kids especially do. But the points that you were making, in school, learning about tax and stuff like that. I mean, good luck teaching a bunch of 16-year-olds about tax and income.
I think people would listen. I think now.
I think that's wildly optimistic.
No, I think now that the youth of today, they're a lot more in tune to this kind of stuff about, especially politics. I mean, and understanding what's going on in the world more so than we ever were. We didn't care. We just wanted to go out and get pissed and party and go watch music, live music. I don't think that's so much the case. I think people would generally sit down and go, okay, well, let's see how our money's getting spent, where it's getting spent, how do we do this? But you're probably right. Maybe 40-30% would. But then again, that's 30% more than when
true.
we were at school.
Yeah,
that are learning about it.
I'm sure if I look back at the stuff that I studied in school, there'd be things that I actually don't think are really that necessary to teach, but are just part of the curriculum.
Yeah, and have been for the last 50, 60 years, so won't change.
But actually you go, well, here's a useful life skill.
Yeah.
Here's a life skill, and I don't know how you'd frame it to kids. It would be, I don't know, here's how you can retire when you're 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's how you retire when you're 40 and the steps that you can take to do that.
Absolutely.
And along the way, they learn all the important financial shit that...
I think it had some... Look, had I been stable throughout my whole life since I was 18, 19, and I was earning a set amount of money, £1,000, let's say, the whole way through, and someone said, right, here's the S&P 500. Just put 50 to 100, 10% of your salary into that.
Yep.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't be retiring, but I'll be very comfortable now.
Yeah, for sure.
But no one tells you about that.
No, not at all. And as I mentioned in one of the earlier episodes of this mini-series, it's kind of how we're going to approach things with our kids. Is the idea of like, well, you can either have your pocket money now and spend it, or you can leave it and we'll double it in 6 months' time. Okay, yes, in the first few instances, they're going to take the cash, go to the shops, I don't know, whatever young people do these days. But hopefully in years to come, they'll then realise, well, actually, if I just have a bit of discipline now,
if I can accrue this, I can get something really cool at the end.
I mean, if you were to translate the interest that they'll gain on it from us, it's not going to ever be represented again in the real world, but it will teach them the premise a little bit. You know? So that's kind of the way that we're going to try and bring it to our kids' attention from a young age.
Maybe you should also start kind of learning from that as well. Do that to yourself. I can either take this money now, or I can put it in for next month, and then the next month, and then the next month.
Well, one of the things that I'm doing is that savings pot that we're going to start building is going into an account that you... Oh, do you know what? I'm not going to go too deep into this because we're not a financial podcast, and I don't know enough about it. But
we'd be a terrible one. Tune in next week for how to lose all your money.
Yeah, Man versus Money Part 4 is me just going, I lost it all.
The spreadsheet was shit. I'm really fucked. I put it all in the wrong place.
I put it all on Blockbuster. But what I have put it into is an account that just steadily gives me 4.5% return on it a year, right? So I know that over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years of me just leaving money in there, the interest accrued on it every single month is going to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up because it's earning more money on the money that it's earning. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it there.
They call that self-compounding, don't they?
Yeah.
Compounding interest.
Yeah. So that's kind of the big thing that I'm doing with that, to make sure that there's an incentive for me to leave it in there. Yeah. You know? So, whew, Christ. we got deep on that, didn't we? Got really deep on that. We were like, system's fucked.
It's all rigged.
Yeah, it's all rigged. It's a rigged game, man. The house always wins. We can just try and do our little bit to try and fight the system, man.
Yeah, and make sure our house is winning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and keep our house in order. Yeah. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up our little money mini series. Yeah. We've spoken about the stresses of money. We've spoken about our attitudes towards money and where we learn our attitudes towards money. How we're kind of resolving the day-to-day stress of money. And by the way, if you do have that on an Excel spreadsheet, if you send that my way, obviously clear all the finances. I'll send it my way. I'll look at how you did it. I'll redact it. Yeah. I'll keep the formulas in, but the numbers out. Just the formulas, yeah. Keep those. I'm happy
Why
to.
not? Yeah.
Yeah. And do we want to turn this into a public resource? if you want a copy of my spreadsheet, then get in touch. manversusmindpod@gmail.com. But we'll be back next week. I don't think there's more for us to uncover from the money perspective. There are other avenues in life that obviously money touches on. We teased the idea of doing something on relationships and money, but maybe that will come into a more specific kind of conversation we have around relationships in the future. But yes, keep an eye out for that anatomy of a panic attack.
Yeah. So next week.
Yeah, sure.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Should we apologise for not coming on last week? Or will that be explained?
Well, you just did.
I just did, yeah.
You
Sorry
just did,
we weren't here last week, but you'll find out why next week.
Yes, and also many illnesses have been had.
It was a treacherous week for everyone involved.
Dreadful.
Yeah.
Dreadful. So, yeah, thanks for sticking with us, and sorry for not being here last week, but I think we've made it up to you. Sort of.
Maybe.
I hope. And catch us on Instagram at manversusmindpod. And don't forget to give us a nice rating and review. We'll be back next week.
Next week. Look forward to it. See you guys. Thank you.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.